I wondered if you had any sort of almost like a game, but not a game, like a best and worst. We do this thing in University Radio York when every time we change position, we do like a best, worst, and funniest, and then we step down. So I wondered, I can set you off with one of my own to give you time to think if you need it. But this year specifically, we did this thing called Student Radio Awards, and every year you submit like a 5-minute demo, basically what I'm doing now. It's just 5 minutes of like you're presenting, your best presenting, and you hope to God that you win an award for it. And this year I got shortlisted but didn't win the Best Music Presenter Award. And honestly, it was the wildest experience of my life. They had tons of people from Radio 1 and Global and so loads of the other like big radio stations around the country like presenting these awards, and it was just the maddest thing seeing my name on this little like thing saying I'd been nominated, and I was like, oh my God. I didn't win, but next year I'm gonna win. We're gonna do it.
You are. I can tell. I mean, I'm always right, and I think you're gonna win, so you're sorted.
But it's completely different presenting to what I'm doing here, but it's a lot of fun. But
that's amazing.
We'll do some best, worst, and funniest if you can think of one. What's a best moment that you recall from university?
I might have to save that for funniest. My best and my funniest are very similar.
Okay.
Best. I don't know. Maybe it was just realizing that I'd got to the end of my degree. And again, not to play into that like inspirational stereotype because I really don't like it, but like just kind of thinking, well, there were all these barriers. People thought I couldn't and shouldn't be doing it, but I kind of did it and I did all right. And just like, there was about a week after I finished my final lectures, I do remember a moment where I was going about my day doing something else, and it just kind of hit me that, oh my gosh, I actually did that.
Yeah.
And that's something I still hear because I was listening to music at the time, and whenever I hear that song now, I think, oh my gosh, it takes me right back to that moment. Mm-hmm. So that's probably my best, even though strictly speaking, that's a little bit after.
One of my worst / funniest, I'll combine it and then try and think of another funny one. But there was a 6-pint bottle of milk in my fridge that had gone off, and I don't know why I decided to do this. But instead of just tipping it down the sink like a normal person, I'm fully outing myself here, by the way, so any people from the C2 block flat in Constantine will know about this. Instead of just tipping it down the sink like a normal person, I decided to pour it out of the window 3 floors up. And basically what happened was, there's ledges outside of a lot of these blocks, like steel bar ledges that go around the building. And it was just smacking this ledge and like spraying all over the windows on the flats below. And
that's grim.
Yeah, this was 2 years ago when I was in first year. And within 5 minutes, the entire block group chat was going off because people were freaking out about what was coming down the window. And literally for the entire day and the week after, that was all people could talk about. I was so embarrassed because multiple people started this like cleaning project where they had to clean all the windows. I felt so bad because I didn't say a word and these people had to clean all of these windows, and I was so embarrassed, and my entire flat were pissing themselves at me. Someone from the flat below, this 6'5", like big huge dude, came upstairs to our flat, walked into our kitchen, and literally I was sat in there moments after doing it, and there was a few other people who'd saw me do it, and he was like, wasn't even messing around. He was like, have you just poured something out of our window? And literally, I was like so scared. I just literally went like, no, that must have been upstairs. It wasn't us. And credit to my flatmates, they backed me up.
Oh my gosh. I bet your life flashed before your eyes at that moment.
Yeah, I was sweating. I was absolutely sweating. And it was a terrifying moment, and I was so embarrassed about it and regretted it quite a lot, because it was just one of those stupid things that I just did in the moment and didn't think about whatsoever. And since then, strive to be a better person.
You got it out of your system during your student years. At least you didn't do that in your graduate job. That would have been a different story. You've got it out of your system now. It's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. That would have been an awkward one to explain. But if you want to combine your worst and funniest, you're welcome to, or separate them out. But what's a worst or funniest from you?
Oh, they're nowhere near as scandalous as your milk situation. Honestly, worst was probably just when I'd been drinking, and this is a very student typical story. We'd all been drinking. It was like 3 a.m. I'd gone to bed, but my flatmates were playing tennis with a toaster, with a kitchen toaster outside of my flat, like you do. And I was very much attached to that toaster. I'm a very much a toast person. And I think I just had too much to drink, and I just started crying because I felt bad for the toaster. Like, I think I was just overtired, but that was, really difficult. I really had to soldier on to, cope with that hardship that I felt on behalf of the toaster. But no, but that my funniest, it was a really low-key thing, and I think I said this earlier, but some of my absolute highlights from uni weren't like the mad nights out or all of the big things. It was very much just being in the house with my housemates and having chilled evenings in.
Yeah.
And like the one that always sticks in my mind is my housemate and I feeling a little bit like, a bit bored, a bit fed up in the evening, and just deciding that we were going to throw a birthday party, despite the fact it was no one's birthday. So we went to Co-op. We got decorations. We decorated the living room. We bought ourselves an entire Co-op birthday cake each, and we just had a really lovely evening of it. It was great.
An entire cake each.
An entire cake each. Oh, Co-op cakes though, they're like god tier cakes. They're the best cakes. So if anyone is going to throw an impromptu birthday party, highly recommend Co-op's cakes.
I'll have to check that out. Maybe see if I can bring something to the house the next term. Oh dear.